Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of our lace up waistband hack sew along. It's Jen and Ada. Say hi, Ada, with the Styled Magnolia. I hope everybody's day 1 went well and it was pretty self-explanatory and everybody got their pieces cut out and are ready for the construction of the actual waistband today. And on my flyer that I shared, I had put that day 2 was constructing the waistband and installing the grommets. And after making my muslin pair, I decided that it was easier to install the grommets after attaching the legs. So we might switch that up and do the construction of the waistband and then attach the legs and install the grommets tomorrow. Just because I think you can get them a little bit lined up a little bit better once your legs are attached. You can get your spacing a little more even, so I'm leaning towards that. Alright, so let's hop over to the cutting board and I'm going to go over what we need to do to start constructing our waistband. The first thing you want to do is locate your 2 inner waistband pieces that we did not make any modifications to, and clip or pin them together, right sides together, just like the pattern says. And we are going to take these over to the sewing machine or serger and just sew the 2 side seams. Okay, now we're going to move on to the outer waistband pieces. There's the back piece that we did not modify, and then the front piece that is in 3 separate pieces. So I want you to take your middle 5-inch section and lay it right sides together with one of your front waistband pieces. And you want to line up the middle seam. So this is going to be our outer seams. So you want to line it up right sides together with the middle seam and clip that and go sew it with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Alright, so we have that seam sewn. And sorry, you can hear Ada talking to me in the background. I'm going to have to put her on. Alright, so now when you fold that over, you'll have it looking like this, and this is our other side. So now we want to sew this side right sides together. So just take this piece and flip it over on top of that center piece. And clip. Okay, let's go over that one more time. This is the piece you just sewed with your 1/4 inch seam allowance. This is the center, center, outer, outer. Take that 5-inch piece, flip it over, and then grab this piece that we haven't done anything to yet and turn it just straight over, right sides together with these seams lined up. And go sew that with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. There's that second seam that we just did. So once you flip that over, there's your full front outer waistband. And you'll notice that it is quite a bit longer than the back. And that's okay right now. We still have some things to do to this piece. Let me see if I can explain this next step. Well, we're going to be basting these 2 seams that we made to kind of make this seam roll to the inside of the pants. So if you look at this muslin pair that I made, yes, this is present ribbon. I couldn't find my drawstring. Let's see if my light can Can help a little bit. Okay. This seam right here, we want it to kind of be rolled towards the inside so you don't see it. So we're going to be basting on top to make that seam roll in. So we're going to take this piece, and if you pick it up right here on the seam, like that, you just want to baste on top of this. Kind of use your fingers to make sure that that seam is rolled to the back. And just baste on top of that seam. And I'll go do that and come right back. Alright, I used a bright green thread so you could see it. There's my basting stitch. And this is kind of hidden. That is kind of, see how this piece kind of comes over the fold a little bit. So this will be a little bit hidden and it'll look cleaner once the panel is finished. So when you unfold this and imagine your grommet panel on the inside like that, you don't see a seam here because we've rolled it to the inside. If you guys have any questions about that, let me know. I can try to help explain it more. Okay, so we just need to repeat that with the other side. So once again, we're just going to pick it up. And roll this with our fingers and baste on top of that. If you guys notice any waviness after you baste, because it's knit and sometimes you do get that on your sewing machine if you can't adjust your presser foot pressure, just take it over to your iron and give it a really good steam. Don't iron it like this because you'll stretch out your fabric more. You can press or just hover and let the steam kind of shrink your fabric back up, and it'll take away that waviness. Okay, sorry this is super piecemeal. I have to keep adjusting Ada and cooling off. I'm sweating. This is it's my sweatshop, so it's only fair that I sweat up here, right? So now these look funny because of the way we basted them, but that's okay. We're gonna be folding these in like this, and this is where you'll put the grommets. Okay, so this is the little gap that you see between the present ribbon. Alright, so take this piece and just fold it over, and you want this folded over distance to be 1 inch. And clip and measure the bottom. Clip. And then same for this side. We're just going to fold it over 1 inch. Okay, this gap in between these two pieces should be about 0.5 inches. So if you measure that and it looks about 0.5 inches, great. If it's way off, you may want to reevaluate what you did or ask a question. And this finished piece should be the size of the waistband pattern piece, approximately. So once you've clipped those, take it to your sewing machine and baste across the top and the bottom to hold that fold in place. This is what you should have right now. Our basted together pieces. You can see all my basting stitches that I'm going to be removing later. And then this is what the back looks like. And you should have little, almost like pockets in here where we'll be attaching the grommets. Ultimately, the grommets will be attached on this piece, but not through the back. Okay, so next, we're going to take our other front, or our other outer waistband piece, and we're going to place these right sides together and sew our side seams. And again, they should match up pretty close as far as the width of them goes. And you can see mine, it's just a tiny bit off, but that's okay. It's not gonna really affect much. Okay, hey, she's out. We're just a big sweat box. So this is what you should have now, and this is our complete modified outer waistband. So construction of the rest of the waistband is going to be exactly per the pattern. And like I said earlier, I tried to attach my grommets at this step, but I didn't like the way they were looking. I couldn't get them perfectly centered once I finished attaching my waistband to the legs. So I'm actually going to wait and put that off until tomorrow. So let's attach the inner and outer waistbands together per the pattern. And something else is I hate elastic in the waist of my leggings. I know some people love it and swear by it, but I personally don't. It bothers my stomach. So I will not be showing you how to do that. If you have questions though, feel free to ask. I've done it before, so I can't answer. I'm just not going to spend time going over that right now. Alright, so we'll take our inner and outer and put them right sides together. Where did I put my outer waistband? If you guys have seen Megan's sewing room, mine would be like a hurricane came through all the time. I swear it's organized chaos. Like, I know exactly where everything is. I'm not going to show you guys. I did clean up a little bit for this so long, but my husband, it drives him crazy, and I tell him just not to come up here, but he moved his office up here when we had Ada, and he has to come up here. So I try to keep it picked up, but I fail. Alright. So this is our inner and this is our outer. The inner piece is narrower, and that is because when you attach the waistband to the leggings, your top seam, it's so hard to see on this dark fabric, this top seam will be kind of rolled to the inside of the pants. So I'm going to turn my inner one wrong side out and my outer one right side out. Okay, so this is right side out, this is wrong side out. And make sure that your pieces, you know which is the top, again, because the top is curved and the bottom is curved, and the bottom curve is a little bit longer. So we will just slip this waistband piece inside and clip it at the side seams. And something that I do is I always make sure that my side seams are faced, my seam allowances are faced opposite directions. It helps reduce bulk. A little handy tip for you. And then we're going to go around to the other side seam and clip those together. Clip the middle. And just make sure when you're sewing in this area, everything is laying nice and flat. You should have your basting stitches there, so that should help you tremendously. Okay. So that's all clipped together at the top. The bottom is still free because that's what we'll be attaching to the legs. And once again, if you're adding elastic, I'm skipping that. So now I'm going to take this to my serger and serge around the top with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. I've serged that top seam. I want to show you guys something as a demonstration because some people don't understand or realize how important an iron is when sewing. It's really important. I used to avoid the iron. I just thought it was an extra step that was not useful. It's so useful. Use your iron, people, and use it with steam. See this? I'm going to take it to my iron and steam it, and I'll be right back. Dun 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 dun! So I didn't actually press anything. I never touched the iron to the piece. I just let the steam hover over it. It really, really makes all the difference and gives your finished product a much more professional look. Now that we've sewed the top, you can remove this basting stitch. Let's see. And you want to go ahead and do that because you can see it right there. So I'm going to take that basting stitch out. Now flip your waistband so that the wrong sides are together. So just turn it right side out. When you do this, remember how I said I like to sew my seams in opposite directions to reduce bulk? Make sure that those stay flipped in those directions so that when you clip it down here, they're facing the same way. And you'll notice that once you clip, this top seam will roll to the inside because the inner piece is shorter, which is really nice that Greenstyle designs their waistbands like that. Okay, something else that I do that some people might feel is an extra unnecessary step is basting. I like basting. It really helps keep my stuff looking neat. I baste these raw edges together so that when I go to attach it to my legs, I don't have to worry that my serger is catching all 3 layers, the 2 waistband layers and the leg layer. So I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and baste all the way around my waistband. It takes less than a minute, guys, and it really helps give you make the attaching step easier. I've basted all the way around the bottom, and the next thing I'm going to do is take it to my iron and press this top seam really well just so that it lays nicer. And I want to note that I thought I was doing something wrong when I did the grommet panel because it does lay funny once you baste that bottom piece. But once you put the grommets in and put the tights on, it's going to lay perfectly. So that's the last step for today. I think that's enough for today. And I'll be back tomorrow with attaching the waistband to the legs and installing the grommets. Now, if you are doing color blocking or strides with the side pockets or super G's with the gusset, I am not going over construction of all of that. So you need to kind of piece that together on your own. All I'm going to be doing is attaching the waistband to my completed legs and adding grommets. If you guys have any questions, hit me up in the event and I'll try to answer them. Thanks for tuning in on day 2. And don't forget to post your progress for a chance to win a yard of the faux knit yoga poly spandex. It's amazing. It feels amazing. I can't wait to put these on my body. This is our Tuscan Red yoga poly spandex. It's a really pretty color too. So anyways, thanks y'all. Say bye.